All right, everyone, and welcome to another RSG Lunch Hour. And yes, I am not Ranger. I know you are all hoping for the bald Ranger man himself, but he is not here. He is off with family business. And for the first time, in a long time, and actually here on time, and then he's forcing me to stream as he has threatened many times in the past. So that means I am taken over, but I am not alone. I am joined by a great group of friends. Let's start out with Mr. Grim the Mechanic.
Come on, Finn. We all know you have him tied up in the basement.
Yeah, like I can tie up Ranger in a basement. Now you kill me in like 2 seconds. What the? God. And then you heard that giggle. That giggle is Miss Dana Descent.
Hi, everyone. Yay.
Porg porg! We can say porg porg without porg, anger.
Yes.
And then we have Mr. Xylo Takedown.
Come on, Finn. We all know you have him tied up in the basement.
Okay. Yeah. Say hi again, Xylo, because my audio just went off. I accidentally had the stream's audio on.
Since Ranger's not here, I'll do it once. Porg porg.
Yay!
Yay!
While the Ranger's away, the Porgs will play, and I mean that seriously. We're gonna see the Porgs here, and I'm gonna put the Porgs on the stream actually. Okay. So, and you guys will see that on the stream here in a little second. Welcome all. This is the RSG Lunch Hour. We're going to do a Galaxy of Heroes roster review. And then with Ranger not here, you guys can work on my defenses this time. So I'll share my screen. We'll do the defenses, and you guys can pick what things I am going to put on defense. And then tomorrow I am going to try and stream here so we can do the offense as well again. It seemed to be fun because I just joke around. I use random teams, whatever you guys want. I'll go in with a Jedi Training Raid team against Nightsisters, which is, even if they're not lead Nightsisters, going against Towson. Side note, really, really bad idea. I'm aware it's a really bad idea, but you guys wanted to see it. I'm like, what the hell? I gave it a shot. So we'll have some fun.
That was hilarious.
I know. It's whatever you guys want. I have fun. My main goal is just not to get the last place, so I can at least get the 1 Zeta mat. That's all I care about. So we'll do that really quick. On the screen, as you guys see, is the Tiltify page. I wanted to run through this really quickly. March 30th, so not this weekend, but the following weekend, we're going to be doing our 12-hour live stream starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. We will be going through a bunch of different games, starting with Jedi Academy on March 30th, and then a bunch of games. We're trying to get some guests lined up, and so you guys will be able to join us and have a lot of fun with that. This is all for the American Cancer Society as we're making our final push to 15,000. So as we're getting closer and closer there. So on the screen, you guys can kind of see we have our milestones. On Tiltify, we have 11,504. All the links are in the description of the YouTube video. You guys can donate directly to the American Cancer Society page as well. And so on the American Cancer Society page, when you make the donations, we're counting it towards the lightsaber. And so the lightsaber we were going to roll when we made a total of 15,000 between the two combined. And so if you look here now, when we hit 13,700 on Tiltify, and I will adjust this total as we get donations on the ACS page itself, we will roll the really awesome Mara Jade lightsaber made by Sword of the Jedi. And if you guys haven't seen this, it is a great lightsaber. Freaking Loki drooled over it. I mean, Loki drooling over a lightsaber is kind of a big deal. So we have that available. We also added now, because we do want to try and hit 15,000 on Tiltify also, when we get to the 15,000 goal, we will get we will roll away a signed RSG poster. It is a poster with the graphics by Silverbolt, and if we get to the 15,000 goal, we will roll that to anybody that has donated on the Tiltify. So please donate. Lots of different options available. You can go to the rewards. If you want more chances at the lightsaber, we do have the reward available for that. So you guys can get 25% extra raffle tickets. Normally it's $1 for 1 raffle ticket, but by donating 4, you'll get 5 raffle tickets into the lightsaber drawing. So you guys can look at that. We have McVenom's fun little video as she was preparing one of our other videos. We still have RSG wristbands, so if you guys want to donate to that, we have that. Sanely Red has donated some PC games. So if you guys would like a random PC game, $10, we'll give you the code for that game. Good old Maurice's dancing video with commentary with his additional dance of the Truffle Shuffle. Good old Maurice and I are putting that together, so you guys can get that video sent to you. We also have a D&D campaign thing that we're going to be doing on Sunday next week. So Saturday is our 12-hour stream, but on Sunday we're going to do a special one-session D&D campaign. So anybody that would like to join can donate to that. We still have 2 drinks, I think, available that you guys can buy me. Yeah. There's 2 left. I've had 8 drinks bought so far, and when we go,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, when we go onto the vacation or the marathon run, which is going to be a vacation for like 1 day, and then run 12 hours, like the half marathon, 13 miles, going to kill me, and then the rest of it's not going to be vacation. It's just going to be torture, followed by drinking, which is also going to be torture. There's 2 drinks available that you guys can donate to, and then select as to what you want me to drink. We have one more picture of Dana signed, as well as a medium-sized kit with socks, a wristband, and a RSG hat for anyone that wears medium-sized socks and a hat. That's available to you guys as kind of a group bonus kind of discount. There's one of those packages available. And we still have a bunch of challenges available, with Grimm's roster being roasted. We have me, when I dress up for the ACS dinner, if that challenge gets filled, I will end up having to wear take a porg with me that I'm going to dress up also. So you guys can see me dress up with a porg, in addition to all my other stuff, which is going to be...
It's going to be awesome.
And there will be pictures had and put on the RSG ACS donation server Discord that we have, so that's available. We also have the challenge suggested that Ranger and Grande will eat a square from the world's hottest chocolate. That's still available as well. So check out these. We still have a lot of things you guys can donate to. And again, everything is for the American Cancer Society. We do have one new one that will be added very soon. Dana, do you want to talk about it?
Yes, we can talk about it. So I am planning a Star Wars tattoo. My right half sleeve, and so what we'll be doing is giving a list of the characters that could be on my arm, and then you guys can help pick them.
That's
you can
right.
choose what goes on my tattoo.
So you can pick Dana's tattoo. So we'll have a poll set up with a few options for you guys here very soon, so make sure you check that out. Again, lots of fun things that you guys can donate to for the American Cancer Society at our expense. So please donate. All right. Let's jump into the roster review here. So today our roster review is for GB, who is from GOC Camino Station. So shout out to GOC Camino Station. And he is looking for, let me get to the list here. There we go. So he wants input onto which legendary makes sense for him next. He started on First Order. So this is a newer player. Let me scroll down so you guys can see here. He is a 903,000 GP player. So he's definitely a newer player. And so we're looking as to what we can get him. He said that he's looking for input on which legendary, working on First Order for BB-8 and then Jedi Training Rey. Phasma and First Order Officer are done. Phoenix is done too, but not activated, so we'll definitely have to look at that. Credit Crunch is keeping him from starting those teams. He is chasing Darth Revan. He wailed out a little bit to make it happen. Poor guy. Now there's a week delay on all of that, and he had more time, and then so he'd like to hear on what our thoughts are as terms of progressing his roster and pointing him in kind of a direction. He's also, he stopped 6-dotting his mods because he knows now that it's better for him to have more 5s. So 5As, yes, definitely better than 6Es for you, especially at an early game level. And he's in a heroic AAT guild, so he's getting Han and Kenobi shards. Definitely very nice there. No intention to move to another guild for Traya. Perfectly fine. And that's pretty much it. And then ships. What he should do for ships. So kind of a full roster review. So let's go ahead and look at his arena team right now. So he's running Jedi Knight Revan. Very nice. And he's running Old Ben instead of General Kenobi, because he still doesn't have General Kenobi yet, which makes sense, right? He's in a heroic AAT guild, but he requires a little bit of time. Let's take a look at his characters first, and just see kind of where his characters are at.
Looks like he's a new player, so it's understandable to have Kenobi, General Kenobi yet.
Yeah,
that does take a while.
Okay, so when he said he was preparing for Darth Revan, he wasn't joking. Not only did he star them, he also took them up in gear. So his Fallen Bastila is gear 11. His Karth and Canderous are gear 10. His Juhani is gear 9, and his HK is gear 11. So you jumped the gun there, my friend.
Wow.
Well, at least it's a good team, though. The Karth team is a good team.
It is, but it requires a Zeta on Karth, right? And do we want to put a Zeta on Karth? We have to look at his roster and see. So, an HK is kind of a character without a team right now. Now, when Darth Revan comes out, it'll be fine. He's going to be a little bit ahead of the game, right? So I understand the HK and I understand the Fallen Bastila. We know pretty much that they're designed to work with Darth Revan. So those ones are fine. You may have jumped the gun a little bit with your Juhani, Karth, and Canderous. They're good characters, but they're a late game squad because of their kind of restricted use in the rest of the game. But I think you did this in anticipation of Darth Revan, which I think is fine. I mean, hopefully it's worth the payoff. We tell people to wait for a reason because we don't know the difficulty of the events, right, before it actually happens. So if you had waited, it might have been a little better, but no issues necessarily with that right now, because I think we're all expecting it to at least be gear 10 difficulty, if not a little bit higher, and Fallen Bastila and HK will be used on the team. So yeah, so that looks pretty solid. Kind of scanning through your top characters a little bit. Actually, I want to go down to the bottom. Very happy to see a lot of level 1 gear 1s. Okay, so you're definitely keeping the fluff to a minimum. You have a lot of characters, like you mentioned, Phoenix, that are not unlocked. So the fact that they're not unlocked is a good thing. Because of your GP, right? It doesn't overinflate it. But, and I'll ask everyone, let's start with Xylo, because you haven't said anything quite yet. Do you think he should start working on his Phoenix a little bit, especially being this early in the game?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I started an alt a couple months back, and that's like the first thing you want to prioritize, right? For not just Thrawn, but for Palpatine too as well. It's a great early advantage, and Thrawn's one of the best characters to this day. Fracture is going to be like one of the best mechanics in game until this game's over. So go for Thrawn, go for the Rebels, go Phoenix in particular. I can totally agree with that, and you can hyper-focus and mod set for them while you're building the team.
Yeah, and not to mention Thrawn will end up helping him in the long run because of Chimera. That'll help him in fleet a lot.
I keep losing my Zoom window and staying on
definitely.
mute.
I know, I do it all the time too. Sometimes I forget to push the mute button, and then the baby's like, ah. No,
How
definitely,
is the baby?
I totally agree with Grim about the Chimera. He's good. He's watching Team Money's. He's watching Team Buddy's. What's it called? GA from last night. He's just like hook, line, and sinker, like stuck on her.
I have to try it now because Ranger's not here. Tell the baby to choke Ranger when he comes back.
He will take over. The master's apprentice will be no more.
The two will be Finity and the baby.
Finity, the Dark Lord.
All right. So
and again, real quick too. Again about the Chimera too. The Chimera is amazing. I used the Chimera for the longest time, even at a 5 and 6 star level before I maxed it. And it's before the whole Millennium Falcon thing came around. It for sure was the best capital ship. So
yeah.
I still use it on defense for like Territory Wars and Grand Arena with the Geos, and it works amazing. Sometimes it'll hold, sometimes it doesn't, and it's a lot of RNG. So,
Palpatine be a pirate. There we go.
Palpatine the pirate.
Just be happy Palpatine doesn't sound like Kermit. Okay, so let's go ahead and then.
It's like a Zam's pirate.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh man.
We all know how my Kermit goes, so we don't need no Kermit Palpatine. Just saying. All right, so.
Oh, that would be a mix.
So the question that you had with regards to what legendaries and stuff to focus on, right? Phoenix gets you 2 of them, kind of like what Xylo and Grim were talking about. You get 2 characters, you get Palpatine, and you can get Thrawn. So Phoenix, definitely a team that you need, and Thrawn has a mechanic that is unique to this game, and in my opinion, is better than any single mechanic in the entire game. I think that Fracture is the best mechanic in this entire game. There is nothing else that really shuts down a character. Now, we do have some new things coming, right? Fear may prove to be that, but if it's... we'll have to see how it plays out, right? But Fracture right now, I think, is the best mechanic in the game. So, definitely want to get your...
Followed closely by Treya's Isolate.
Yes. I will say Isolate is probably the second one right now. And then Fear, we'll have to see how it plays out. Fear has a chance to be right up there as well. So for right now, you're doing the legendaries that I would focus on for you are going to be Palpatine and Thrawn. Get them out of the way, get ready, work on your Phoenix. They work double purpose for you, so you're going to be pretty solid there. Let's go through your different factions and see kind of where you are. So let's start with the Bounty Hunters, so you can see where you are with Chewie. And you have a 7-star Boba Fett, 7-star Cad Bane, but then 3-star Jango, 4-star Dengar, 3-star Embo, and that's it. So Bosk, really good character for you to work on, and similar, and kind of just jumping ahead to your question about ships, Houndstooth, man. Houndstooth is a game-changing ship.
Yeah.
Fleet.
And for him,
It really
the
is.
sooner he gets it, the better, right? Because like if you hyper-focus the Houndstooth in your arena shard before any of the newer players in your shard do, then you have a huge advantage. Because I used the Houndstooth at a 3 or 4-star level early on, and it's an amazing ship with, oh my goodness, even at that lower level. So if you get that jump ahead and you can farm Jango 2 for 1, perfect.
And the best part, Houndstooth also gives Jango shards, right? Just like Xylo said. And so by farming Houndstooth, you also get Jango, which is another bounty hunter. You work on Bosk for Houndstooth. That's another bounty hunter. And then all you need to do is finish Dengar, and you have a team in order to try and get Chewie. Bosk, Boba, Cad Bane, Jango, Dengar. It can work. So
yeah, and if or even you can even get Greedo out of the arena store too.
Yeah, so we'll look at where he is with the other characters, but yes, Greedo you can also get pretty easily out of that store. He doesn't have CLS yet though, so he might have to focus on Stormtrooper Han and Leia, which is why I was waiting on Greedo. So
yeah, I see that one too. Yeah, for the CLS event.
yeah, so we'll actually let's go ahead and jump to the Rebels right now. Because we are trying to look at legendaries and Journey, right? So
that'll be his first big event other than the legendaries. So
yeah. Right now, his old Ben is 7-star, gear 10. Farm Boy Luke is 4-star, gear 7, and Leia is base unlock level 1.
Yeah, and then he might have some shards saved up for Stormtrooper Han or something, right? Because he hasn't unlocked all of his characters.
Yeah, like he needs the credits, yeah.
So CLS, definitely a Journey character you want to work on. You get R2 in the process. When you get your Thrawn and your Emperor Palpatine, right, you get 2 additional Empire characters in order to get your R2. So we're jumping around a little bit, but we're kind of going in a reason. So now let's look at his Empire to see how close he is to R2. And he has a 7-star Vader. He has a 7-star Tarkin. Right? If he gets a 7-star Palpatine and a 7-star Thrawn, he only needs 1 more 7-star Empire character, and he's ready for R2.
Yeah. Who could we farm out of one of the simpler stores too? Like you could farm Magma Trooper out of GW.
Yeah.
You can farm Stark in the guild store.
Yeah, Stark's one of the best pieces for not just Empire, but Troopers. Troopers get the Trooper faction going for them.
Or you hard node farm Veers, because Veers is one of the best nodes in the game right now for hard nodes.
Yeah, plus it gives you the IG 2000 or whatever, so you can start getting another ship in there, and it leans towards the Zetas.
And Han's Falcon, once you start that one.
Yeah, that's a big multitask there. All those nodes, I gotta admit too, looking back on all those nodes that they added characters and ships to, like we were just talking about the Houndstooth and Django, you get stun guns out of that.
Yeah.
I love that note. I farm that note still to this day just to spend the energy.
So you're definitely on the right track, right? So you've done a really good job so far in working on some of these characters. And getting Vader to 7 stars is actually really nice. Now my question is, how did you get him to 7 stars?
Probably the mixture of like achievements, and then he probably speed rolled him out of the fleet store,
which is the concern, right? We want to be very cautious about fleet currency. And we'll go into that a little bit as we go through your roster here. You're on a good pace for CLS. Let's take a look at Jedi Training Rey, right? And let's start with First Order. And let's go with First Order.
Actually, Finn, you know what I just thought about?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in the chat or anything?
No, I don't think he was able to join, but I told him he could ask questions after. But was there something in particular?
So remember the Vader pack when you first start the game, the pack that doesn't go away? That maybe he got one of those starter packs early on for Vader and got him up to like 4 stars right away.
Yeah, I mean, he did say he wailed for Darth Revan, so it's quite possible.
Yeah, and that Vader pack that's a really good buy for a newer player. When
we were talking about that for weeks when it was still just chilling in the store. Yeah,
and I normally don't push spending money on this game, but that one is a good buy.
And thank you very much, by the way, Nick Merck. You're correct. The Veers node is with the Sith Bomber. It's not with IG 2000.
Oh yeah, that's right. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys.
No worries. It happens.
It's a good ship though too. Yeah,
hey Xylo, why do all black ships gotta look alike? Damn.
It's because they're all dark side.
Wow.
If you think about it too, like we used to not have a bunch of these nodes with ship and characters on it. Now they're kind of like everywhere through the game, right? Like before it was like Plo Koon and Nightsister Spirit, and there was nothing else for a while.
Yeah.
So now there's like 10 of those nodes through the whole game.
So in looking at your First Order, you have Crew at 7 star, really nice there. You mentioned that you have Phasma and First Order Officer enough to get 7 stars. You just haven't unlocked them yet, which is fine. So you need 2 more First Order. We are looking at probably in order to round out this team. And if you want to use Phasma, that's fine. It's going to be a little bit more of a team that you're going to use on offense because the AI for First Order Officer won't necessarily target Phasma, who you're going to want with that team to be targeted. The easiest ones to probably get are going to be your Masked Kylo, and then potentially your Executioner, or... I mean, First Order Stormtrooper is not an easy farm to get. Special Forces may be an easy one from your guild store, depending on how much guild currency you're using. So, you can figure out which ones you want. I would say Kylo Ren Masked. The regular Kylo Ren is definitely one that you're going to want to use with this one because he is going to be kind of an important piece to your Kylo Ren team.
What's the energy node that the Executioner on? Is it a 12 or a 10?
Let me check right now. I think it's a 10, right?
Well, no, I don't know.
I'm checking right now.
Pull up the Cantina real quick.
Yeah, where is my...
See, the reason why...
It's a node that takes energy.
Oh, it's a regular energy node.
No, it's not. It's an 8 cantina.
No,
it's an 8 cantina.
Okay, so I was...
Even when you're trying to be a smartass, Grim, you say it wrong, because there's regular energy and there's cantina energy.
It's still energy.
So the reason why I asked is because potentially if he's not gonna have like officer in the team, right? Or if he's gonna use Phasma lead, he could potentially work on Crew's node just to get the ship and the character.
No, he has Crew 7 star.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. His crew is 7 star. He has the shards to get Phasma and First Order Officer to 7 stars.
Okay.
But he hasn't unlocked them yet. So on his GG page, they're now showing up. But he's on a credit crunch, so he hasn't unlocked Phasma and First Order Officer yet. So then, he has those 3.
I do like Executioner, but if you have another Cantina farm in mind, then that's understandable.
Would you go Masked Kylo or Executioner? I would go Masked Kylo before Executioner.
Yeah, because Masked Kylo, regardless whether you give him the Zeta or not, he's definitely now the engine of that team. Regardless whether you have a speedy First Order Officer or not, he's the one that gives the turn meter. He's the engine, and then potentially, First Order Officer, when you put him down on defense, there's a chance that he's not going to always give Kylo that speed. So I mean, you want to speed up that mass Kylo and get him in there as soon as you can. For sure.
So, I mean, Special Forces may be the other one just because of simplicity to get him. Because your guild store may be the easiest one to get, so you're not overlapping all of your different farms. But you do have some other focuses. So, first thing is, do you want to go for CLS or Jedi Training Rey first? I think, personally, I would go after CLS.
Closer to get, you know.
Yeah.
You want to focus on the one that is easier to get first.
Okay, so
really.
I'm about to go into a Scoundrels because my guess, and again, it's hard to tell because he hasn't unlocked some characters, but I'm guessing he hasn't made much progress on the veterans, and yeah, his veterans aren't even showing up in the Scoundrels. So I think he should
that's
focus
the thing too, is like he might not even be at that level in Cantina yet. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, like he's still got to make that final push to the 16 nodes. And those are some pretty hard battles at the end for a newer player too. So even with the Cantina, you can mix match teams. It's hard to.
And he's almost about to. I'm not going to say accidentally, but he is about to kind of stumble upon a really solid team if he goes after CLS, because he's in a guild that's getting Han, right? We've told him to start working on the Django Houndstooth node and work on Bosk, right? So he's getting closer towards Chewie. Once he gets CLS, he has the trio right there for a super solid team and can surround it with whatever other two rebels he wants, right? So I think getting that CLS Han Chewie combo would be your next priority, because I think that's going to be your next solid combo, and that's the closest one. That's the one you're closest to right now, because you've already got some progress on Farm Boy Luke, right? You already have some. I don't know if you have any additional progress on Leia, but she's there 2-star. I don't know if you have any additional progress on what's it? Stormtrooper Han, right? So those are both going to come out of the Arena store. But I think you've done a pretty good job here, and I think CLS. Are we in agreement? Do you think he should go to Jedi Training Rey or CLS? Because I'm favoring CLS with where he is right now.
CLS.
Yeah, he's way closer, and then potentially while he's working on whatever we can recommend now for these next couple weeks, then he can lean into JTR and getting up those Cantina nodes.
Yeah. So I think you're really solid here. So good job so far, and so I think we have.
He's doing good.
Oh yeah, this is a really solid roster for 903,000. Like you're on the right pace with everything. He's
suppressing his GP by not doing all the bells and whistles on every character.
Yeah,
you know, like most of these characters are base unlock level 1 gear 1.
Right.
You know, he's probably got all the shards to take him up to 7 stars, but he hasn't done it, or she hasn't done it, which is good in some aspects.
Yeah. So keep going with
that and.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Grim.
No,
sorry. Go ahead.
So Silo. I was getting ready to move on to the next thing. So go ahead.
Well, it's a good thing too that being at a younger stage and having this focused roster and not having the credits to go willy nilly all the time, right? Because it's keeping him from fluffing and leveling up the wrong things right now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through some of his other factions. We talked about his bounty hunters. We don't really need to look at some of these right now because it's an early roster. So I don't even want to take a look at his clone troopers or his droids. We looked at his empire, right? Working on your Phoenix is going to get you Palpatine and Thrawn, which is going to provide you 2 more empire characters. So you're going to be on track here for R2 once you get your Phoenix up and running. Ewoks, a late game team. We're not going to worry too much about that. We looked at your First Order. We'll come back to all the ship stuff here. Let's look at your Imperial Troopers. Because we were talking about Veers and Stark, and so Imperial Troopers, again, not a team you need to work on right now. Something to maybe work on afterwards. You do want to focus on those legendaries first, so CLS, definitely a big focus. Then Jedi Training Rey. You have Jedi Knight Revan. You already have everything for Darth Revan. So you're going to have a lot of solid teams. Imperial Troopers will be something that comes down the line for you. So it's a faction to kind of keep on your radar, but nothing to prioritize quite yet. The next one that we want to look in terms of priority, and I see you have a Zeta on Talzin already, is Nightsisters. And, okay, very good job. You have a Gear 10 zombie. Everything else might be lower, but you went Gear 10 with your zombie first. Very, very smart. I can I say I'm just loving the way he's building his roster right now. So for those of you guys that don't know, we've emphasized this before. Nightsisters Zombie, you do want to keep at least gear 10 because that is when she gets her ability to double res 2 Nightsisters automatically that weren't annihilated. If you don't have Zombie at gear 10, she's basically a liability on that team now after the rework. Once she gets to level 10 or gear 10, she becomes super, super awesome. And so I'm looking at your team. You are building, it looks like, towards the Heroic Sith Phase 4 team. And maybe not intentionally. There's some of the characters a little bit easier. You get a head start on Talia and all of these kind of things. So you have that. But if you work on your Talia and all of these teams, your next Zeta should probably go on Asajj Ventress Leader when you're ready for Heroic Sith. I'm going to look at your Talzin to see what Zeta you have. And you put the Zeta on her leader. So yes, definitely do not put the Zeta on Asajj's leader until you are ready for Heroic Sith. I don't know where your guild is right now. We can look at that later if they're not close to Heroic Sith right now. And I know you said you're not changing, right? But so what you want to do when you're preparing your roster, don't jump ahead for Heroic Sith. But just keep it in mind, when you do Heroic Sith, you will want a Zeta on Asajj's lead. Since you have it on Talzin's lead, just keep on going with that. That's a really nice one for lower levels, especially because you get all these reses and it becomes a little bit hard for a lot of people to beat those teams. So, good job so far on your Nightsisters. Finish off Zombie to 7-star and you'll be good. We talked about Phoenix, we talked about Rebels. We can look at your Resistance, and nothing except Resistance Pilot is unlocked. When you're working on Jedi Training Rey, make sure you work on Finn. Again, I don't know if you have any of the additional shards or not, but make sure you do have Finn and Scavenger Rey completed as you're approaching your Jedi Training Rey farm. And we'll take a look at, because he has worked on his Darth Revan stuff, the last two we'll look at are going to be Scoundrels and Sith. So let's take a look at Scoundrels first. And he has a... Actually, let's do Old Republic instead of Scoundrels, because then we'll get a better picture of everything. So here, let's go to Old Republic. So, okay. So he has a Gear 10 card.
7-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 stars across the board. Gear 10
Nice.
Karth, Gear 11 Fallen Bastila, Gear 10 Canderous, 9 Juhani, 8 Zalbar, and 7 Mission. Yeah, you're 1 Zeta on Karth's lead away, plus some gear away from a very solid team that people at your GP may not be able to beat. Karth,
Dude, that's insane. He's got all this and he's not even a million. That's insane.
Well, he said he did wail a little bit to get Darth Revan, so he knew where the priorities were, right? He got himself a Jedi Knight Revan.
That's awesome.
It's very awesome.
That is amazing. There's a lot of there's a couple of smaller content creators that I associate with here and there, and I like to peek in on their videos. And this guy Nev, he did his Grand Arena and he's like 1.3 million GP, and someone put down Jedi Knight Revan, and for a free-to-play account, good luck beating that. So with everything you've got at this GP level, you're already ahead of the curve and ahead of the next curve. So
you're
awesome.
So we're going to look at your arena team here in a little bit to see how we can get you a little bit higher also. We want to get you higher than in the top 100. Because having a Revan this early, and one thing I didn't ask him, but I'm assuming he didn't, is that he didn't take a break, so he's not on a shard. Well, mods is one thing, right? But if he's a low GP, but he started earlier and took a break, then his shard may be a lot farther ahead of him, right? Versus if he just started and got these, then he should be ahead of his arena shard. So we'll take a look at his mods and everything too. But
and then the addition with mods 2.0, it totally makes it more easier to find those better speeds. I mean, it's harder in some aspects, but in general, it's not as impossible to find those 20 speeds anymore. And even though he bought all these characters, for example, there's no benefit because you can't go and buy a bunch of mods. I mean, you can go spend a bunch of crystals and roll a bunch of them, but at the end of the day, you get luck with RNG just like everybody else does. So I mean, I bet he has a bunch of mods that he can slice up too. So
Yeah, and we'll take a look at that. But I think with your Old Republic team, if you put together Karth, Canderous, Juhani, Zalbar, and Mission, and you put a Zeta on Karth's lead, I think you have a team that people at your GP level are not going to have any idea on how to beat. Forget about the fact that you have Revan, right? I think your Karth team is going to be your nastiest team. So, yeah, it's really... Wow. Oh, is that Nev in chat? It looks like Nev is here, Xylo. He just mentioned Nev here.
Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, it's NEV, right? Just Nev. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
he said it was actually
that's the man right there.
860,000 to go actually, and he had a full Revan team with Gear 12 with full Zetas.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was an acid team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So, yeah, so your Old Republic give you a really solid team and definitely one that you can help out your guild with in Territory Wars. You're solid in Grand Arena, so very nice looking there. So let's take a look now at your Sith and see what you can do. You're not ready for Heroic Sith yet, so we're not going to necessarily push anything too much, right? But potentially when you get Emperor Palpatine with your Phoenix, you can put together a pretty solid team with Emperor Palpatine lead, Vader, Nihilus, and Scion, right? So when you get those four together, then you have more flexibility with your fifth. You can put a Fallen Bastila. You can put a Thrawn, depending on who you're putting into that team. You can do a Sith Trooper. You can do a Dooku. I mean, you have a lot of different options here once you get Emperor Palpatine into the mix. And obviously, you're going to need a Zeta on his leader. Without that Zeta leader, the team doesn't come together. But once you do, then it works out really, really well. So, yeah, I think your priorities are Bosk, the Django Houndstooth, Phoenix, and get your CLS. I mean, those are your main farming priorities. You're not. I mean, you still have some work to do, and you may not get CLS the very next time he comes around, but you're on track to do all of these things in very good time for your GP.
Yeah, definitely. And then how many hard nodes do we have in farming? Because we want to go maybe 5 or 6 hard nodes, right?
So we have. Let's see. We have the Bosk.
We got Bosk.
We have Houndstooth.
Django. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Veers.
those are. Yeah, we did say to do Veers potentially
Veers
for the
is
other
16
Empire.
energy too.
And then Veers
is a
does have
16
2.
energy node. Okay, so yeah, he can. That's 2. He can do Veers and double roll those, and then 1 more, and that'd be plenty of energy for him to spend.
Yeah, and I mean, you have other characters that you can work on as well. So it's not. I mean, you're doing. I'm really happy with the way that
Let me
you're
look at hard
rostering
nodes real
both.
quick.
Because we don't really have him working on any other ships yet, right? We do want to try and see if we should focus on Millennium Falcon, but we have to see where his ships and everything are. But
how about we can do First Order Stormtrooper for a hard node too? It's a 12 energy hard node on light side, and then I think he has a second node too. Let me double check the character.
Yeah, you definitely could.
Yeah, he's got 2 nodes. He's got a hard node on light and dark side, and they're both 12 energy. So you can do 2 for Veers, 2 for First Order Stormtrooper,
What the
Django,
hell?
and Bosk.
I don't want this ad. Go
Perfect.
away, ad.
Yodeling Pickle?
No, it went to a game, some kind of tower defense. What the hell is this? Total Battle. I have no idea what this is.
Oh yeah, I've seen it pop
Do
up.
I
on
need to hook
those
you
sites
up with
too.
an ad
No,
blocker too?
I clicked on it by accident. That's not an ad blocker. I accidentally clicked on an ad on the actual page, so it's different. I'm gonna.
So we got plenty of hard notes for him. He's got
There
a
you go.
great plan, and again, what a roster for not even 1 million GP. What a
yeah.
roster!
And
Doing
now let's take a
everything
look
right.
at
Good job.
his mods, because mods is typically where all of this is. If you started this game at the same time that you should have, and you're up to this GP, right? Like you didn't take a large gap or anything. I think we can get you higher in arena. So let's take a look at your mods, and then we'll look at ships. So I'm going to my. Oh look, it's Ranger in chat. Hi Ranger. Oh yeah, I have to do this for Ranger. Look, it's a porg. Porg.
Oh god!
Okay, so.
I do while he wasn't here.
Oh yeah, Ranger's gonna.
The porgs on this stream do not reflect the views of Grim on the stream as well. Please don't kill me, Ranger.
Okay, so let's go ahead and sort your mods by speed and take a look where your mods are at. Yeah, they're scattered. We need to refocus your mods and get them on your arena team. So, like, I'm looking at the top of your mods. You have some on Maul, Asajj, Dengar. I mean, so we need to work on focusing your mods a little bit. You don't have... I mean, it's not a lot of depth in terms of your mod, but it's not terrible. And if we look at... I'm going to look at speed sets in particular, because this may be where you want to actually go. Yeah, you're low on speed secondaries on speed sets. That is your biggest weakness right now. Your biggest weakness is the lack of speed secondaries on speed set mods. So because of how low you are in these numbers, and assuming that you don't have any kind of stored up that aren't on characters right now, I would say with your mod energy, I know you mentioned that you might be slicing and stuff. I wouldn't slice. I would go straight mod challenges with speed set. Speed set mod challenges and just try to accumulate as many double-digit speed secondary stats as you can on speed sets. Because that's right now where your biggest weakness is. And I think if you correct that, you could go much higher in Arena. Are you guys seeing anything different with the mods? Would you recommend anything different, Grim, Dana, Xylo? Is Grim awake? Did Grim fall asleep?
I mean, sorry.
We're talking about mods. I figured Grim fell asleep.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think that's a perfect strategy for now, and then that way it's not too consuming for credits either. You know what I mean? At that point, you want to start making a little accumulation and keep like a couple million credits in your back pocket, but you got to be careful and keep in the back of your head that you don't want to spend those. You want to have those for an investment if you need it right away. You know what I mean? Like I like to keep like 10 million in my pocket, and other than that, I spend. So
yeah, and the chat isn't wrong. They're saying that he has a lot of potential with these mods, and I don't disagree. He has some potential with these mods, but even if you look at how many mods he has, I mean, you're not going to be able to hit all of these 4 times, right? And he doesn't have the depth in order to, in my opinion, waste time to try and slice up greens and blues. He's better off trying to farm more of them that come naturally as purples and golds, and just try to get them to hit. Even if it only hits 3 times on a gold, that's still better than what he has, right? And so he can get those much quicker by doing the mod slicing, or not the mod slicing, but the mod farming from the challenges. And again, each situation is different. What fits for what we're recommending to GB may not necessarily fit for somebody else with the similar GP in terms of his roster, right? But he has different mod compositions. We're looking at what his weakness is. His weakness is lack of depth in mod secondaries with speed. That's right. Try to choke Ranger through YouTube.
force choking.
So I think that's where you are with mods. I wouldn't go with slicing quite yet. I would say start working and just farm maybe for the next, I don't know, I want to say maybe even for the next month or so you can get yourself a lot more of those speed mods so you don't have to worry about it moving forward. You do get mod slicing maps with some of the events and stuff now. So it's not as critical to necessarily farm that all the time. I mean,
like you just said, the events and Grand Arena, you get so many mod salvages, and like the event today, you get all those mod salvage and some pretty good health primary mods. So you can look for some good speed with those, and then farm speed primaries mainly through your mod energy, and just let those mod salvage accumulate. Because then when you're ready to start slicing and you have those great mods that you're ready to slice, you can go willy nilly and slice a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I like to do. I like to. Yeah. It doesn't seem as crippling, right? You know what I mean? Like if you're slicing mods every time you get the salvage for it, it's so discouraging to keep slicing. That's why people don't do it as much, and they go back to farming more mods. If you just hold on to a bunch of salvage, you'll find it 15, 20, 25 some point. So you just got to be patient.
Yeah. And I mean, we've mentioned it before, and I can provide more detail if you want, kind of separately, GB, on what I'm talking about here. In terms of tier 1 mods, which are the mods that can potentially reach like a parenthesis 5, which you kind of see in your Revan mod, right? It's a speed and then parenthesis 4. The parenthesis 5 is typically going to be a god mod. And so those are the ones that you're trying to aim for. And you have one mod right now that has the potential with speed in order to reach that status, and that's the diamond on your Maul. So if you want to take the one on your Maul up to a purple and see if it hits speed, and if it does hit speed, then take it up to a gold, I'm fine with you slicing up that one mod. Your other ones are all lower tiers. They're like tier 2 mods. Until you get to your greens, and greens requires too much time for slicing for you to concern yourself about right now. So in terms of blues and purples, you have one tier 1 mod, in my opinion, and that's your Maul mod. So if you want to slice that one first to see if you can get speed to hit on purple and then potentially on gold, you can do that, and then otherwise just farm speed sets for a while, and get your roster fast. As much as CG is trying to add it so that other mod sets and mod stats are important, Arena is still dictated by speed, regardless of what you're doing. Even with this new character with Darth Revan, right? It's no coincidence that you get speed based on the number of debuffs that you get, right? You get 5 fear off the bat, and then you get 75 extra speed. Like, they know that speed is important. Speed is the key in Arena. Now, in Grand Arena, it's your depth of speed that comes into play. And so you, between your Revan team, your Karth team, and if you can get a bunch of speed mods, I don't know who's going to be able to beat you at all in Grand Arena at your GP. This is a really sick roster. All right. Let's take a look at ships. Xylo, do you want to talk about his ships a little bit? I'm going to head there right now. So I'm going to go to his profile if you want to take a look, Xylo, at his ships, and I'll look at his
5-star Ebon Hawk.
Yep. So he's running Endurance right now with Ahsoka, Anakin, and Biggs in the starting lineup, with Jedi Consular, Slave 1, and Xanadu Blood, which are probably his top ships, I think. So let's go to his ships and just kind of see.
Here's the thing, though, since I mean, he can probably get away with running Houndstooth in there, and then he will never have to, or not Houndstooth, using his Ebon Hawk in there, and never having to worry about the target lock teams.
That's true. He could use Ebon Hawk in there.
I mean, he use it as a reinforcement since you have it at 5-star. If you can get that reinforcement ability maxed, he's just as good as Cassian's Ewing. Since you don't have access to Cassian.
I mean, so there's a few things that he's definitely missing on his roster, right? The first thing that he's missing on his roster is he has a 7-star Vader, but doesn't have the 7-star advanced. So TIE Advanced is a ship that I think he should try and get pretty quick here, because he has a 7-star Vader. That's going to be a great thing.
Yeah, that's from the Fleet store, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, it's Fleet, and yeah, I think it's just Fleet. So
did they put on a node as well?
No, I don't believe TIE Advanced is on any node. No. So TIE Advanced is definitely one that I think that you should start working on, especially based on your roster. I think that would be a solid character for you. We were talking about Empire before, right? And I really like Imperial TIE. I don't know about you guys, but for a starting ship, I think Imperial TIE is a really good ship, because it is a ship that maybe is a little bit too RNG dependent, but at early levels, it gives you everything you need, especially if you're relying on a 5-star Biggs as your tank, right? Because Biggs isn't a very tanky ship. He's actually somewhat squishy. His survivability comes from the constant target locking and regeneration of his protection. And so that is definitely a character or a ship that I think could potentially help you out quite a bit. If you work on it a little bit, you work on your TIE Fighter pilot instead of the other Empire that we were talking about, That gets you a 7-star TIE Fighter, right, which would be another Empire. Once you get Thrawn and Emperor Palpatine, that gets you your 5. So you're set for R2. And then you're also working on Imperial TIE at the same time. So I'm liking the prospect of Imperial TIE potentially as his other Empire character.
Yeah, it's got
My
so
Rock
many
and
mechanics.
Can't Touch This says TIE Advance does have a node. It's 4B.
Oh, it's the
hard
fleet nodes. Yes.
action.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking just about the regular energy nodes. Yes, I keep forgetting about fleet because.
However,
But I don't know if you want to farm
Yes.
that. I mean, like out of the fleet energy, there's a lot of different things you can farm out of the fleet table before the
Yeah.
Imperial TIE Fighter. You could even get the Imperial TIE Fighter shards from the Guild event store and the fleet store. I mean, if you're hyper focusing one thing in the fleet store, it's not too crippling to your Zeta income, right?
I mean, so we don't know how far he's progressed in that fleet table,
Mhm.
but I would say he should just get it from Fleet Store and then try to get Enfys from Fleet. I mean, if he can get a 3-star
and
Enfys,
even if you don't,
he's set. Like, he's going to have characters
Yeah.
that people at his GP are not going to be able to beat. Like, between the Karth team, his Revan team, and if he
Yeah.
can get a 3-star Enfys, most people are not at his GP level, especially when I looked at his GP earlier, right? It was 903k. 350 or something was from ships. So that means his character GP is only going to be 560,000 when they go to when they fix the calculations for those matchups where ships aren't there.
wow.
Yeah.
And he
Dude,
has
you just
all
gave
those
me an
pieces. Wow.
Yeah.
If he can get Emphas Nest and get Wampa at his current GP level,
Yeah.
he's annihilate
Ooh, I wonder.
Grand Arena, annihilate people.
Oh yeah, dude. Nobody will be angry with him at his GP level. I wonder if he even got, like, we were speculating he bought the Vader pack and spent money on Darth Revan and everything. I wonder if he was one of those players who took advantage of trying to get some of those Wampa shards from one of those packs. You know, because if he did that, then he's like right around the corner from unlocking Wampa as it is.
But if he hasn't, I would still say work on your Hermit Yoda first from Guild Event Store. I still think Hermit Yoda
Yeah.
is actually. Does he have Hermit? Who's on his? I forget who's on his Revan team. I don't think Hermit Yoda is there. No, he has Grandmaster Yoda and Old Ben. So.
And with the firepower that he has, he doesn't really need Wampa at the moment, as opposed to the mechanics that Hermit Yoda has, right? Like, you guys know how big of a fan I was of Hermit Yoda. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have both Zetas on him. I love that character. Like, he's so flexible in any team. He's great for the Sith raid. He's so much fun for Grand Arena and Territory Wars. And I mean, like he just said, Finn just said it. He fits in the Jedi Knight Revan team, of course. Fits in a Bastila team. You could throw him in solo with Empty's Nest, or you know what I mean. Like, there's so many flexible pieces for that.
Yeah, but at his GP level, dude, a 7-star Wampa would completely annihilate 90% of the teams he's facing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By
But
himself.
He's got so many teams and things put together already. Like, he's already got a lot of firepower. Now, having that extra healer and support character in that roster to fill in some of those teams would totally make sense over Wampa.
Well,
but I
that
love
too.
my Wampa too. I love Wampa.
Wampa smash.
Yes, Wampa.
The other ship that you're missing, which makes me sad, you're missing Poe.
Which makes this roster even better. It makes Finn cry.
I don't
there is
think
a
you
missing
can make
Poe.
Finn cry with how improved. I mean, all the depth of his roster. If he's missing Poe, I forgive him for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm
No, I
fine with
just
him
have
not
to
having
say,
it yet, but it is going to be a ship that can help.
Very
him.
well done.
Mhm.
Very well done on your roster, GB.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So, I mean, this is... was there anything else that you guys noticed? I think we covered everything for him. I mean, he's done a really good job.
Almost there.
All right. So,
Just
with
a
that...
little further.
Finn, tell them where they can get their roster review. Well, all they have to do is go on to the RSG Discord and message me, Finity, and message me that you need send me your GG page, say you want a roster review, and I will put you in the queue. If I don't respond to you within 24 hours, just message me again and ask if I put you in the queue, and if not, then I'll make sure that I do it. Feel free to bug me if I don't respond. Sometimes they do get lost in the messages, so just follow up with me. All right, so it is time now.
Grim,
Mhm.
how do you bug Finity?
Have I what?
Grim, how do you bug Finity?
Oh, it's easy.
Finn,
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 Finn.
Finn.
Sheldon.
That is the right way to do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our Grand Arena. So I have my Grand Arena available. I can show you guys, and let me do this here. So I'll share my screen with you guys here. This should work.
That's right. Reverend.
Raven. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? Hold on.
Oh, dude.
What?
So in one of the other games I play, Finn, I just got a character that every time he gets healed, he deals damage to the opposing team.
That's awesome.
What? That's a crazy mechanic.
And the damage is equal to 50% of the surplus heal that the guy gets.
Ooh, ouch. Dude, if we had something like that in swgoh, that'd be... Oh my
I know,
God,
that would be
great thing.
sick.
Wait until Jedi Luke. Okay, so...
Yeah, right?
All right. So let's go ahead
I was
and
like, oh, wow, that's a cool
go
movie.
into Grand Arena. I'm going to show you... Oh, let me go see if I can go back here. So this is what I had on defense last time. So I had a Rogue One team with Chirrut, Baze, Cassian, K2. I had my Revan team. I had a Bosk team. I had a Rebel. I had Imperial Troopers, First Order, and my Kira Stall. So that is what I had put on defense. So I feel like the first team we have to put on defense is Imperial Troopers again, because I know Ranger loves that. Okay. So, I have a tab...
That's what I was trying to tell him the other...
Hmm?
I was trying to tell Ranger the other day about that. Like, the top tier, you know, like, I'm in the... Ever since Grand Arena started, I was at the 4.4 million GP, and, you know, I'm creeping up on 4.6 now, and I've been seeing troopers on defense. I've been seeing them here and there on defense a lot.
The main reason is that they don't work very well against Nightsisters now. Like, if you don't have Range Trooper, and I don't have Range Trooper. So, because I don't have Range Trooper, I can't use them against Nightsisters. Yeah. So, I don't have a use for them elsewhere, and if you take them too lightly, they can wreck you on if you put them on defense. So, that's part of the reason why I put them there.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
With Nightsisters, it's not just clocking them for speed, because, like, it's like, all right, there's so many things I have to think about if I put Troopers in against Nightsisters now, because... Not my last Grand Arena, but the one before that. And I've always been streaming them now the last couple months. And, you know, my troopers got smoked against the Gear 12 Nightsister team with the Gear 11 Spirit in there. And all my troopers are Gear 11, fairly clock speed. Stark's at like 262. And, you know, I still lost that one. But then, like, last round, they had a Gear 10 zombie and everything else with Gear 12. Troopers worked just fine. You know what I mean? But, again, I have range. They were all Gear 11. So it's like, again, that gear check from Gear 11 to Gear 12 with the Nightsisters, it's not comfortable anymore. It's not a hard counter anymore in some sense. So,
well, that and
I
a
totally
lot of
understand.
people are starting to use Nest or Wampa with their Nightsister team to specifically counter an Imperial Trooper, Range Trooper team.
Yeah, well, see, like, I see that one too, totally. Troopers with the Nightsisters Nest is a great counter for that, because Nest kind of just stands there and then the death mark kind of chews her away at the end. But I mean, overall, I mean, like, most people are starting to pull away from that Nightsister Nest team because they're seeing how easily troopers cripple it. And another one I like to, you got people nowadays like me, I'll go in with Nest and Wampa as shorthanded as I can, because those extra banners come out so nice. I mean,
so what should I
then
put?
Now that's where you're pulling those teams back.
What do you want me to put on defense here? So you guys can kind of see mine, and you can create your own combinations. My Revan team, I put Hermit Yoda in here for now because I was trying to play around with another Jedi team with Bastila lead. So I have this one kind of here, but on my last one, I put Bastila in for Hermit Yoda. But however you guys want, tell me what you think. What should I put on defense? Do you want to see the opponent?
Well, first the staples.
Do you want to see what the opponent's Revan speed is?
Facing.
Because my Revan is 315. And we can take a look at our opponent and see what his Revan is. So let's go back. He's running Bastila.
The main question is, do you think he's going to use his Revan on defense or not?
He's not even using it in Arena. He's using
Wow,
a Bastila,
seriously?
He's using a Bastila lead.
What's the speed?
I have to see. Hold on. He's using Bastila in Arena at rank 174. And his Revan... I mean, maybe he hasn't modded. His Revan's at 207 speed.
Wow.
So I'm going to be able to kill that with my Treya team if he decides to put that on defense.
Yeah, put your Revan on defense and watch him bash his head against device.
The full Revan team too, like with Bastila. Like go all in.
Okay, I'll go all in with Revan.
Save Hermiota for offense.
Yep, I can put him on my Jedi Training Ray team. He's usually my 5th on that team if I save him. Okay, so I'll do that.
That's a good one. Or you can stretch him in for whatever, like a solo or anything too.
Okay, so first team we'll put in Revan.
And then we got the 2 staple teams, Bounty Hunters and First Order. So and Kira Stall, so those are 4.
Okay, so Kira Stall. Okay, so we have that's the other.
Do you use Barris in your First Order team?
Oh, I have to change my Kira Stall because this is the other Kira team that I have set up here. What was that?
Do you use your Xeris in your First Order team or your
occasionally I do
like that?
I have intentionally put them in. I don't think it's in my preset, but I have manually put in Barris in my First Order team before. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been switching Barris out for Officer. I mean, like, because Kylo is clocked for like almost 260, like Mass Kylo, so he's just going and going anyways.
Mass
I was just
Kylo?
Curious to see which one you like to use there.
Steer him off with the alternate stall team.
My Mass Kylo is at 221.
Yeah.
Mission Zalbar used Chewie and Han.
I keep Chewie and Han for my CLS team,
yeah.
so I don't want to break that. Because Chewie and Han are part of my CLS team, so I want to leave that. Oh crap! I put the wrong Chewie.
Me personally, I've been incorporating my CLS Han and Chewie on the defense.
Did I put the wrong Chewie?
I mean, the last.
Did you put?
I put Chewie instead of Zalbar on my Kira Stall team.
You did. No.
Actually, that might be interesting because I bet you he's got guard mission.
Oh yeah.
That will be pretty. Okay, this will be pretty interesting to see what happens with this one. Yeah, Jojo-san just mentioned it too. I meant to put Zalbar, not OTG.
Okay.
He's got to be doing the
find like a team
extra
team for
tap.
Zalbar.
Okay,
we gotta find something with Zalbar now.
Okay, so we can makeshift it.
That's almost as good as OG Han though.
Okay, but should I do
because he's got to do
the extra I have First Order with Bear. Do you want me to put that one on defense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. First Order with Bears. I need another tab for this 5v5 with my regular ones because this is my future 5v5 setup. So I had it with Young Han, and then I picked the wrong one. And okay.
Just make a separate tab for GA. That's what I do. I mean,
I know. I need one that I
territory
update
wars
more
and GA separate.
Okay. So we'll see how this works out. We'll see if with Double Zeta Chewie works with Mission. This will be kind of interesting.
It'll be funny too, because Chewie's gonna assist Mission as opposed to like Mission assisting Zalbar, right? So there's still some heavy damage deal in there, right?
That's gonna be brutal, man.
That will be kind of nasty. Yeah, I know.
Plus
I know, Ziggler. What the hell? Why does Finn gotta think all Wookiees look alike? God damn. Okay, so we have.
Finn, come on. God.
So Bounty Hunters. Bounty Hunters is another team on defense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's my standard boss.
What do you?
I'm sharing. You can see it.
That's a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Bosk, Boba, Dengar, Greedo, and Cad Bane. Put that on defense.
I like it.
So we have 3 more teams that we can put on defense.
Dojason brings up a good one. Django, Zal, Nest, and 2 other scoundrels.
Okay.
Since Django gives 30 speed to any scoundrel on the team. Unless you want to say
Django, Zalbar, and Bounty Hunters.
I don't know if my Django is... Yeah, my Django isn't well modded. I just got him up to 7-star and geared him up. But I can do it. So if we do Nest, Zalbar... what else should I put on this team?
What's his speed?
Who?
Put on a couple
Django.
bounty hunters if you
Django
want.
is not fast right now. He has like level 12 mods on him right now. He's only 170. I haven't modded him. I just threw mods on him.
No, he's there for the leadership, dude.
Yeah, he'll go 200 at least.
So I put Captain
So we
Han and
just need two
Stormtrooper Han.
scoundrels there. Love it. Yep. Oh, actually, put Captain Han and then IG-88 because he'll help build a contract a little more at least.
Okay.
Well, and yeah, Captain Han will be able to res him, won't he?
Yeah, and then they're gonna take a while just to get through Zalbar, and if Captain Han gets him back up in time, it'll be really challenging for him. Plus
Okay.
the speeds, they're gonna look at all these characters. They're not gonna look at these characters' speeds. It's gonna get a huge boost.
Yeah. Let me see. My nest is actually 296, so she'll be pretty fast. Okay.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be going like over 300. Even the Thrawn's gonna have a hard time keeping up with that.
Yeah.
These Django sleeper teams are funny because, like my last GA, I saved the Django team for last, and then I just saved my 3 fastest characters. I had Rex Lead, Thrawn, and Nest, and I just went in there against the Django outsped all of them.
All right. So we have 5. We need 2 more on defense. So these are, let's see, what
Let's
else do I
see
have
here.
set? I want to save Treya. I want to save the remnants of my CLS team now. That's Chewie.
All right, let me ask you a quick question, Finn.
Hmm?
What 7 teams are you going to use on offense?
I don't really care. I don't think he's going to be able
But
to
you
full
have
clear
tabs,
me.
right?
I don't think he's going to be able to full clear me.
No.
I doubt he's going to get through my Revan. So I mean, we just need 6, right?
We got
So we have Treya if he puts his
Right.
Revan on defense.
Mhm.
We have Jedi Training Ray.
Nightsisters.
We have Nightsisters. We have a Zeta Finn. We have Ewoks. Everything else is kind of like a little bit of a
Troopers.
hodgepodge, but I don't expect him to have that many strong teams on defense. So, I mean, then I have the broken CLS team, but Han with CLS and 3PO can still do quite a bit. So, I think we're.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I'm okay on offense as long as I save those. So Treya, CLS, Jedi Training Ray, Nightsisters, Zeta Finn, and Ewoks. That gives me enough for offense.
Ewoks for offense.
Yeah, Ewoks definitely for offense. They don't work really well on defense, so.
No, unless you got them like clocked really fast and you have Logray on the team, it's a really sketchy team.
I
to put on
do. I have
defense.
Logray on the
It's a
team.
Nest Wampa special.
I do have
Yeah.
Logray on the team. Let's see. My Logray is 204. My Wicket is 186. My Elder, I think I made my fastest. He is at 208. Chirpa is 209. And then Paplu is 196. So they're all like plus 80 on their speed mods. It's not my best speed mods, but they're like my 5th tier, I think, mods when I was modding them. But I like them for
Yeah, it's
offense
enough to get the
because,
team going and doing their job.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I save them for offense. Once I get through that initial like sequence, I can work them so they can work on offense really well. So,
Right.
um,
What about any rebels? We got some good rebels that we're comfortable putting on defense.
I have a rebel
We got
team.
maybe like a Wedge Bigs team.
Yep. So I have Wedge Biggs. If we don't want to use a Rogue One team, right, we can put Chirrut and Baze on this team too.
Yeah, we can do Wedge Bigs, True Bays, and then maybe like Stormtrooper Han for an extra tank. Fuel the turn meter on the team.
Yeah, I can do that.
It's a decent 5, and I mean, even if they throw like
Nice.
Wampa or something in there, it's still going to be able to do some damage to him and slow Wampa down a little bit.
Okay. So Wedge Biggs, Chirrut, Baze, and Stormtrooper Han.
I like it.
Doja-san, my Karth team is in that list, but I just got them up geared and stuff. So they're not ready yet. I can show you. They're not ready to be... I mean, I can put them on defense, but they're not going to be any good yet. Let me go to Scoundrels, and then you can see.
You're like at that point where you're like dividing prepared and Old Republic, yeah?
Yeah, I just... And I've been... this was the team I was going to work on next. Karth, Canderous, Juhani, Zalbar Mission.
Mhm.
So that was the next team I was going to work on. But my Karth,
Mhm.
I just got him up to gear. I put a Zeta on his lead. But, I mean, he only has 173 speed. I mean, his mods aren't good. I just threw stuff on him because I needed space. So...
Right.
He's not... Yeah. So
Taking those steps to finishing up or rounding up that team.
Yep, and I'm working on Candrass. And my Candrass is actually higher than this, but my Candrass this is what it was when I queued up, right? So now my Candrass is gear 10. I think
when
on
you
the
locked
verge of
in,
gear
yeah.
11, so.
Awesome, yeah. He's a pain to gear too, man. I still haven't touched him from gear 9 yet.
He's only bad between like 8
I
and
don't
9.
want to do that.
8 and 9 is when he's
Yeah,
bad. He clears
stun
up
guns,
after.
stun cuffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he clears up a lot.
That's good to
after.
know. Then I haven't really looked at him on GG.
Yeah, no. He's bad
I can't
early.
wait to
He's
get
not
him
bad
done.
late. Okay, so one more team.
Awesome. That's a little relief.
I have
what are we thinking?
I have a droid team we can try and do. It's not going to be this exact one.
You want to show some love to HK?
Yeah, we'll give some love to HK. We can do B2 and I'm not going to use Phoenix. We can do Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper gives some survivability in there. Got a stun.
Yeah, so we can try this. And I have Jawa Engineer, so we can speed up the entire team. So it's HK. Let me see what my speed is on my Jawa Engineer. He is 252 speed. So, and that's without the unique where he's gaining all the additional speed. So that's another, yeah. So.
I've seen people get him over 300, man. He's a nasty bugger.
Yeah. So there you go. We can do this on defense if you guys want to try this.
Ooh, wait. I got one critique. Do you want to use IPD on offense?
I typically save him for offense, yes, for my EP team.
Okay. Just for like a blow up or something.
Yeah, and I haven't geared him up for that reason, because typically he's fine. I mean, he's not even fully modded. I mean, I literally just put him in there to take a hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes he gets hit with an AoE
and blow up,
below. Yeah. So I don't even have to use EP for it. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I have him there.
Yeah, just make him do the heal.
Yeah.
Make him do the heal and blow up and detonate. The reason why I was asking, 86 probably switched out for like Grievous just for some extra damage.
My Grievous is only level 80.
Yeah, I mean he's.
Yeah, my Grievous is
only level 80.
Yeah, he's level 80. He has like low crap mods, 117 speed. He's not modded. He's there, but he's not modded. Oh
man. Yeah, all right. Then I like this team because K2 is not going to be better than 86.
No, not at the gear. Because my 86 is gear 10. My K2 is only gear 9. And as a tank, that's going to be really bad. So, yeah, if K2 was higher,
his
then
damage
I would.
On his special, but his basic just sucks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're working with what we got, right?
Yep. Okay, let's do this. This is kind of a low gear team anyways.
Let's do it.
It's my last team. So...
Yeah, filler. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. The best part about this GA is that it's all just one zone, right? And I know a lot of people hate it, and it makes sense from a strategy perspective. It's really awful. But you don't have to worry about like streaming your defenses and people seeing it, because as soon as you open it up, you're going to see everything anyway, so it's not like it matters.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well, I think it actually creates another layer, right? Because we know like having a front wall and a back wall creates speculation and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, what's back there? What does he have on defense still? All that kind of stuff. I think with this whole 7 wall kind of thing, it creates an efficiency kind of recommendation. Kind of like you have to go in there and one shot everything, and if you don't, then you can already lose just by not one shotting everything, right? I mean, like,
well, 73. A lot of my characters don't have mods.
Into efficiency.
What else 73 is saying my 86 doesn't have all of his mods. I know a lot of my characters don't have mods right now. I'm in the process of remodding my
pulled
roster.
Off the fluff.
Yeah. No, it's not pulling off the fluff.
Dude.
I'm in the process of remodding my roster. So a lot of the characters that are not speed oriented don't have a lot of their mods and stuff on there, and they're like low level, like you can see these. So they just have mods kind of thrown on there. HK doesn't have it. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm not super
it's
worried
so costly.
against
You're at that point. You have like all those credits to where you can just rip every mod off and no worries. Everything will be good. That's what I want to do, is get up to that level and save up like 80 to 100 million credits within the next couple of weeks after Revan comes and just remod everything top to bottom. It'd be so fun.
Yeah. So I mean, I can show you guys. It's so the way I remodded, and I've kind of worked through this with the VIPs and like streams and stuff. I flagged the characters that I've modded so far. like finalize my modding for, and so I know which ones I need to mod. A lot of these already still have mods on them to be reasonable until the time, but he's not they're not like normal on here. So yeah.
What else? 73. Jeez, it's almost like you don't care about Grand Arena. Wow, I wonder where you get from.
All right, so now we have to look at fleet. So we have one fleet to set. Anything you want to test? I have a Millennium Falcon at 5-star if we want to use that. So what fleet do we want?
Well, does your opponent have the Millennium Falcon? That's the main question.
Okay, let's take a look. He's running Thrawn with Houndstooth. See, Rey's Millennium Falcon. I do not see Han's Millennium Falcon. He has Emperor Palpatine's shuttle though, and Ebon Hawk, but not Han's Millennium Falcon.
I say put the Hawk on defense. Or, I mean, the Falcon.
Falcon on defense.
Since
okay.
Your opponent doesn't have the Falcon, he's gonna have issues.
Okay.
What star was his Ebon Hawk at?
4.
Good, then you don't have to worry about that.
Okay. So we will do Akbar lead. So Houndstooth, Millennium Falcon. What other ship do you want to put in the starting lineup? Biggs?
Dual tank could work.
That's usually the one I leave on defense, so that's pretty much it.
Well, if anything, actually save the Houndstooth for offense and use Sunfac on defense. That way you got the Houndstooth in your pocket. Because the Sunfac's still a really annoying tank.
Do you want me to do Sunfac instead of Houndstooth?
Yeah, because he's already going to struggle against this team, and then the stun from Sunfac and then its passive taunting is going to be really annoying. Plus, the Falcon's going to heal itself if he tries to go after it.
Dojason says go full Rebel, Biston or Biggs.
You guys let me know. We won't even pretend like we're looking
Biggs
at mods. So.
and Sunfac,
Yeah.
full Rebels. Big Sunfac in the starting lineup, and then full Rebel reinforcements, and then you can use whatever on offense. You can save Cassian in your pocket too if you want.
Okay. So we'll do Phantom, Ghost, Piston, and Wedge. So this?
Yeah, I like it. And, I mean, like, all the assist mechanics you'll have, the buff immunity from Wedge. When Viston comes out, he calls an assist too as well. So there's a lot of synergy.
The only reason
Is your
why
Ghost
I want
completely finished?
No. There's some of them don't even have mods, Grim. Let's not talk about it.
Well, no. The reason I was asking is if Ghost has full reinforcement, he'll come in and put target lock on everybody, and your Biggs will.
Yeah, no, my Ghost does not.
Well, it's still gonna do some crit chance down. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's okay. I run it the same way. It's fine.
The only reason I'm
synergy
thinking
is there already, and
I'm thinking Houndstooth instead of Sunfac because that breaks up my geos, and I like having all three geos together as one of my attacking fleets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other? I don't think there's another tank that we really need in this lineup, as opposed to maybe plugging in another Rebel, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, I have three other squads that I can use, and I have Chimera. So my Chimera with a bunch of tanky things, I can take out whatever's the issue, and then go in with Tarkin and Geos and clean it up after. So I'm just gonna go Houndstooth. Let's just make this one last.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll make it even safer for sure. I'll tell you that. And you can beat the Houndstooth on offense without it, right? That's all it comes down.
But that's why I have the Chimera. So between Chimera, that I can take out Houndstooth
and the Geos,
first, and then Geos with Tarkin after if I need a cleanup. So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
Do. All right. So there we go. We have set my Grand Arena, and then tomorrow we'll do offense. We'll see where I am, and it'll be interesting to see how that Kira team with the Chewie lasts. I still can't believe I put Chewie in that Zalbar.
They're gonna look at that and be like, "What?"
I don't even know if he'll realize it. I don't know if he'll realize it off the bat. I mean, all Wookiees do kind of look alike.
Probably not. All Finn. They don't all look alike.
All right.
Tell that to the Empire.
All right. Let's get to some questions here. And let me get my energies. Okay. Let me get to questions. And let me refresh this. And then I'll do some Cantina battles and stuff just to have something on the stream so it's not just boringness. Actually, we'll just put the Porg up.
Porg.
Okay, let's get the questions going. I'll take it down. I know everyone's going to hate it. Okay, so first question. Oh, we got a lot of questions. Okay. First question from Nathaniel Morgan. Question: has Finn done the Florida man birthday Google search? Why is Florida so effed up? I don't know what
I did that yesterday.
What is that? I don't know
did
what
it yesterday. You type in Florida man and then you put your birthday in and then you see what kind of stuff goes on at that. Like on your birthday. So it's usually what's going on in our Discord server yesterday.
Do we want to try that on stream and see what happens? Is it going to be not safe for work?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it going to be not safe for
I don't
work?
think so. No.
Okay.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay, so give me a second. We'll do it. We'll do it live on the stream here. Okay, let me. Okay, give it a second here to load, and then I'll do it. Okay, so Florida man, and then my birthday.
Yep.
Okay. CWF Championship Wrestling from Florida. And then police identified body found in Georgia. And then 6 die in Dallas club as enraged man fires wildly. Damn it, this all points to I Blame Finn. Every single one of these points to I Blame Finn. God damn it. I'm getting rid of that. That makes me sad. Everything is freaking I Blame Finn, and it's true. It's awful.
I didn't do the year. I just did my day. The month and day.
Awful. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next question. Is from McTweet. Question: speculation. What is the reason for Darth Revan delay? I know the post CG Carey said in the forums yesterday. What do you think is the real reason? I think that is the real reason. I think they tested it and they probably found something wrong with it. What do you think is the real reason, Grin?
Because you told them to.
That's true. As a result of the 1 week delay, I think if I spend $10, I'll be able to get Darth Revan now. I wasn't caring. I was just planning for the second try anyways. I figured I was going to be relatively close, but I didn't care. And now, apparently, I would be, I think at worst, like $10 away from getting Revan. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I agree. I think they found either a bug or something wasn't finished, or something they needed to take care of, and before they released them.
Yeah,
I mean, I know there's a lot of people that want him to drop like this week, but if they're gonna push something back because they're fixing broken crap, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Well, again, what I think it is I watched a video yesterday too. McMole 2, he put out a video talking about how it basically is because of Sith Assassin with her rework. Like, you're going to have to mod her to be the fastest character on that team, to be the engine for the team. Now, when she goes under stealth and she gets all the bonuses from Revan's lead and a full Sith Empire team, she's basically going to go under stealth and then one-shot somebody under their protection. And if she doesn't one-shot them, then they're going to get death marred from if it's the lead, and it just rips apart the team in like less than 30 seconds. So it's like, if you have the fast mod you're going to beat your opponent on a mirror match or anything else in like 30 seconds to a minute, basically.
That's
So
surprising.
like nobody wants to deal with that.
I mean, is
Nobody
that
wants
really
to deal with that.
surprising? We called it on the Wednesday night stream on that kit. Like, that's...
Yeah,
Sith Assassin is going to be the key to
yeah.
that team. Like, the whole
Yeah,
team
exactly.
is based around that. It's silly.
They just need to slow her mechanics down a little bit, as opposed, or maybe just change her kit or her abilities in general. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that she goes under protection, I get it, because that's what the Sith kits were about. Like the Trooper 2 goes under protection, but it needs to be like kind of reduced damage or something like that, or like non-critical damage even. Like they've been manipulating with the Separatist droids. I don't know. There's a lot of things that they could do to nerf it, but you don't want to make it too nerfed to where it can't destroy everything else right away. It just the mirror matches would be a pain. You don't want to have something to where you're dealing with broken mirror matches again.
Right, and there's nothing else you can do about it, right? Like, you can't even try and stun her with Han or anything like that, because your 5th will end up being Traya, and she dispels on her unique if you have a Zeta. So the Sith have a lot of depth with their kit, that it becomes that, they might be reworking Assassin. That wouldn't surprise me. There's something broken with the way Darth Revan was. It may not necessarily be with Darth Revan directly, but it's the way that the team composition was together, and I'm sure that's why it got delayed. And, best part, now I can potentially get Darth Revan. Ha ha.
I think that his potential does not lie in the leadership slot. Let's just put it that way. His full potential will be under somebody.
Yeah, I think it still is in his leader, but we'll see. He does have, because he has that Sith tag, you can move him around anywhere. But they gave so many good characters that Sith Empire tag now, particularly Sith Assassin and Sith Trooper. They're generic characters, right? But they're really underrated, I think. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out coming up. By the way, I'm I think my share stopped here for a second. I'm about to do a Cantina battle. This double lead stuff is ridiculous. Do you see the 2 leads that I have on this team? Freaking freaking Jedi Knight Revan and Bastila. I'm curious to see what... I wish there was a pass in this game instead of having to attack, because I would love to see how long it took them to kill something. We're gonna do this here and just see. I'm gonna do 1 speed auto. You know what? I'm gonna do basic. We're gonna do basic auto and just see how this works as we go through there. Okay, let's go to the next question. Let me get back to it. Next question is from Ski Trooper. Assuming you agree with KP67's best 5 bounty hunters, Jango, Bosk, Boba, Dengar, Embo, which lead would you use? Plus, would you use them on offense or defense in Grand Arena? Are any Zetas needed besides 4 I have on Jango and Bosk?
I think.
So after the first part,
I gotta go looking.
Yeah, I'll start with the first part. In terms of the 5 best bounty hunters, the first 4, Jango, Bosk, Boba, and Dengar, I agree. I still think Greedo would be in the top 5, especially if you mod him with crit. He's an RNG play, but I still love Greedo, so I think Greedo I would probably put higher. Embo is very close to the next one, and then much farther behind are the rest, Zam and Aura and all of that. So I'm with you for the first 4, Jango, Bosk, Boba, Dengar. For the 5th, I think I would prefer Greedo. That being said, would you put them on offense or defense? I think bounty hunters end up being better on defense, because whether you do Boba Jango lead, or which is going to give you a bunch of extra reses, right? Or whether you do Bosk and you have all of his Zetas, because you said you had the Zetas on them. If you have all of his Zetas, Bosk's Zeta on defense is designed for defense. Like, it is designed so that the bounty hunters are not focus firing, they leave the weakest target with protection, and Bosk is able to recover his taunt. So that is definitely a defensive ability. Both of them are. So while they can be effective on offense, I think bounty hunters are a menace on defense if you're not ready for them. So I would say put them on defense. And I think I would still prefer Bosk lead over Jango, and we kind of saw it recently, because I like Jango on a different team, because you can work with him on Scoundrels. That's part of the reason why I worked on Django, not for the other bounty hunters specifically, but for another scoundrel team in order to put that together. So that's my thoughts.
Well,
I don't
and
know, if
one
it-
more thing too.
If,
One more
if
thing.
it-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Graham.
I was gonna say, if it was me, I would swap Dengar with Cad Bane. Cad Bane is more versatile. Dengar is more useful if you're fighting like teams that stealth. You know,
Yeah, I can see that.
just that stun and the accuracy reduction is really good. Plus his double tap, and he's decently
Yeah.
fast.
I mean, like having him on a boss team, it just fuels that health and protection regeneration. And then having a second bounty. What I've been doing, I got all the bounty hunters up to gear 11. Been doing the contracts. I've only got 3 left to get up to gear 12, and I'm trying to take a heavy investment in them just because of Grand Arena. And I put 2 teams down on defense majority of the time now. I'll go like a boss survivable team that can use debuffs, and then I've slowly been incorporating Dengar and Greedo into that Django team to go with Zam. So they're basically really fast. They're going to take off really quick and throw a bunch of those thermals. And then by that time, they're going to be lucky to get past that team because it's so fast. There's so much damage and debuffs going around everywhere. I'll post a screenshot of my last defense for Grand Arena, and you can show it on the stream, Finn.
Yeah, and like with Cad Bane, if you mod him for crit chance, he's going to be using that stun all the time. He'll be spamming that sucker. Because Cad Bane, every time he crits, he can reduce his cooldowns by 1. So, by himself, he could potentially stun lock the entire team.
So as part of this, for the next attempt at this battle, and I'll make it 2 times speed, I'm using Van Seal's Django. And then I'm using Bosk, Boba, Dengar, Greedo, and Cad Bane. So this is here. We're going to use both of the leaderships in this one. I love the double leaders in these. They make it so much fun to kind of play around with things. I'll make it 2 times, and I'll make it basics again. Okay. Let's start running through these questions because we'll have a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you can pull up your Discord and show it on the stream, I messaged you the 2 bounty hunter teams that I've been putting down. And again, I've been like changing them up consistently, but just so you can kind of get an idea of like separating the boss debuff team and then the Django thermal team.
Where'd you put it?
I just DM'd you on Discord. I couldn't put a picture in the Zoom chat.
I did not get anything in Discord. Maybe it's lagging, but I don't see anything in Discord right now. So, well, if it shows up, then I'll do it. My Discord is not showing anything right now from you. Oh, wait, there it is. It just loaded. It just took a while.
Sorry,
to load.
it didn't load all the way through when I sent it the first time.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's why. So the ones that Xylo said that he's using are a Django with Boba, Greedo, Embo, and Zam. And then Bosk with Aura, Dengar, 88, and Cad Bane. Yeah. I mean, those are... The bounty hunters are fun because you can distribute them quite a bit. So...
Yeah, and I've been changing them up. Like I said, I've been slowly incorporating all the thermal detonators onto the Django team, but it's hard not having any thermals on the boss team too, so I'm just trying to figure out what works best right now.
Okay. So now we are going to start speeding through some of these questions. We'll get to as many as we can in the next 10 minutes. All right? So, first question, Nathaniel Morgan, question for Grim. Who should I farm after Canderous? He actually said Cancerous. Sith Marauder or Sith Trooper?
I'd say Sith Trooper. Marauder is really good, but Sith Trooper will help you more because of that auto taunt and being super duper tanky. And he ignores protection. So.
All right, next question, RSG Vormax.
Sith Trooper is more beneficial.
Okay. Sith Trooper was the answer. Haha. Next question, RSG Vormax. Is it worth it to lose in Grand Arena in favor of completing the quests using incomplete teams, knowing that I might lose? Nice rewards on defense anyways. It can be if you really want to. Those achievement quests, where you fight under gear, you go in with Han, like in an under gear squad and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it depends
like
on the
ones. Mm-hmm. The Grand Arena ones have really good rewards, but the other ones are kind of just like milestone kind of things.
I'd say save those quests for when the rewards for the quest are better than the rewards for the Grand Arena. Because there are some of them where it's like, oh, why are you giving us those when we already have several thousand of them?
Yeah,
Ouchie, the stream
is
is
a pain.
The stream is going on until. Are you not entertained, Ouchie? I'm trying to be entertaining. Pork. Okay, next question. What else? 73 question. With how the game is currently, what would you consider a mid-level roster GP? 3.5 million, 4 million. I think mid-level is probably around 3 right now. Right? I think
because like look at the roster we just reviewed earlier. It wasn't even 1 million, and it's kind of hard to put a stone in that, right?
Yeah. So probably closer to
maybe
3.
Like 1.5, 2.
4 is approaching endgame for day one.
Hyper-focused.
Yeah. 4 million is approaching endgame for free to play. So 3 would be game stuff. Ziglet question, can you make
like 2.5, 3, yeah.
Yeah. Ziglet question, can you make 2 3v3 teams with First Order?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which ones would you do? Crew, regular Kylo, and Stormtrooper, and then Phasma, Officer, and Executioner?
Actually, I'd save Stormtrooper for Phasma.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Because then you get a tank in both teams, and then you can put like Fox in the Kylo team for damage.
Well, to be honest, unmasked and regular Kylo are do pretty much anything by themselves. If you have one of the TIE fighter pilots, you could put them on there with that for extreme damage output.
Ooh, yeah, like Special Forces would be good, and then you could put Fox with Phasma and regular TIE fighter or Officer.
Special Forces combined with regular Kylo, the ultimate stunlock team.
Yeah. Plus he's got that mass assist too, and then the speed up AoE. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, next question, Tangent Revolution. I really want to do a Darth Revan release video today, so why did Finn get it delayed? I needed time in order to get Darth Revan, that's why. Ranger, question, how bad does the chat think I should beat Finn and the panel when I get back on Monday? /cracks knuckles. Well, not the panel, me.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Hey, well, okay, I won't rat you out. Okay, yeah, just me.
Go get him. Go get Finn. I blame Finn.
Doja-san, question. Since speed is a critical stat, who are we theorizing will need to be the fastest on a Darth Revan team? Assassin, Revan, Fallen? It'll be Assassin. Because Assassin gives everybody else speed.
Just Assassin.
Yeah.
Then followed by Emo Bastila.
Yep. RSG Vormax, question. Who else is so happy now that Ranger is one of us in the chat? Not me. I have to stream. Darth Scion, question for the panel. While I'm glad CG is making sure Darth Revan is done correctly, what's everyone think about the delayed announcement? Should we be concerned CG is making it a more difficult unlock? We were concerned about that anyways, right? People were already speculating that you might need Gear 11 and stuff. It's possible that they'll tune it up now because they are giving an extra week in order to get it, but this is nothing that people shouldn't have known for those of them that are invested in looking for Darth Revan, right? We've said it for a while. Don't put gear on your characters yet, but start accumulating all of the gear so that you can take them up to Gear 11 or potentially Gear 12. So, unless you're working on the team like I'm doing right now with Karth, just save your gear and then you'll be ready when it comes down. It can be Gear 10, Gear 11. They may not change it. They may make it difficult. Then you can kind of switch very easily.
Well, that way you don't end up wasting gear because you got everybody to Gear 12 and it only needed like Gear 8.
Yeah.
Well, either way you'll benefit. I mean, like if you want to invest in those characters in like the Karth team, but like at the same time, if you're not like hoarding a mass amount of like gear and Zetas and all that stuff, hold your resources, right? That's what we've been saying for weeks now.
Yep.
So.
All right. Next question. Let me see. It's loading. What else? 73 question. How long has Finn been racist against Wookiees? Your whole life or just recently due to peer pressure? No, I became racist against Wookiees when Chewie almost ate a porg and then slapped it in that ship. That was the turning point. It was very rude of him. He should have apologized. It was
rude.
it was very unkind. That's when it all started.
Mhm.
Mark
At
Mark
least he wasn't
Garnett.
veteran Chewy.
Mark Garnett question. Right now, I am building a Grand Arena team. Django lead, Bosk, Boba, Nest, and L3. Would you recommend switching out any scoundrels? Can't build a second scoundrel team anytime soon. I mean, Nest is the only one.
Wait.
He can't build another team, so he's putting Django, Bosk, Boba, Nest, and L3 as one team. I think Nest is the only one. If you can substitute for somebody, maybe better. Like if you can put, well, Vandor Chewy's only going to be able to res L3.
Which is a good one though, because she's the taunter.
Well, Bosk is
And the
going to
healer,
also on that
so-
team.
Yeah, but I don't like. Yeah, I
Bosk
don't like
is
those
gonna
teams
taunt,
like
and
that
then
either
it's
because
not
it's just a
his lead.
circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no damage. It's just an endless circle of healing and rezzing. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but that can be beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might replace Nest with somebody else because Nest is good on her own in Grand Arena a lot of times.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with
Yeah, get used to using
Django,
her solo. Yeah.
Django, Bosk, Boba. If you want to put L3 as a tank, that'll work. Yeah, I would probably try and put in another bounty hunter in that team. Potentially Dengar, so you don't have to worry about stealth or something like that. But I also think this is going to be a lot better of an offensive team than defensive. Because you're working with some pretty strange synergies on this one.
Wait, is it a 3v3 or a 3v5?
5v5, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
5v5. excuse
Django,
me.
Bosk,
Yeah, so,
Boba, Nest, L3. So 5s.
Yeah, so you could even, I mean, like you could even go and take Nest out and put in like a Shore Trooper or a Barris for an extra like
You could also go
a healing
Stormtrooper
survivability
Han.
mechanic.
Stormtrooper Han. Put in
Yeah, you know what I mean.
another nuisance
So, like-
tank that just speeds everyone up. God.
Yeah, and L3 is gonna heal the scoundrels. So I mean, like, even if Shore Troopers in there too, like that's a top tier one. It kind of pulls from your troopers or your Empire team, unfortunately. But like that's why I also say Barris, because Barris kind of goes in with like a GK or a First Order team, kind of like slides in somewhere. But you don't want Ness on that team. I totally agree with Finn. Like pulling Ness on her own and keeping her as like a solo piece is always a great thing to have in your pocket.
Yeah, and this is probably going to end up an offensive team anyways with how it's set up. So I would just kind of hold off. Speedo kills. Question: did you see the new Tusken during the Darth Revan reveal? Anakin Fallen rumors have any validity now? I did kind of see the whole Tusken scene and all of that.
Mhm.
I didn't know. I'll have to go
Maybe.
rewatch that.
The rumor mill has been churning over that one.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh my goodness. Stop.
hey, if it brings gets us a dark side villains fall 7-star, it will make me extraordinarily happy.
Yes.
I don't think
So
they'll
smart.
do.
I got my 7-star Aurora
I am-
Shaman.
I don't think they'll do like an
Yeah.
event like that though. It might be released in kind of the same way as Bastila and Fallen Bastila, right? Because we already have the end game. We have Vader. Like you can't do like the whole journey if you already have something early. Like you have the end and you have the beginning. Now we're filling in the middle. It doesn't make sense to do the journey. I mean, I think they
Yeah.
might introduce
So-
Anakin Fallen, but I don't think it's going to be like a journey type thing.
Well, I hope it does. I like dark side version of Anakin. I mean,
Yeah.
like, that'd be so cool to have.
I mean, yeah, just with his hood up, the blue lightsaber, you know, before he wore the suit, take my money.
Yeah. Like the gold red eyes. Yeah, definitely.
Like I'd be more inclined to spend money on this game for Dark Side Anakin, Lord Vader, than Darth Revan.
All right.
Yeah, like
I'm
if he
just
was
saying.
actually called Lord Vader as opposed to like Darth Vader, like Lord Vader would be cool.
Okay, 3 more questions. Next one, Dojison. Jedi Revan took 400 Carbantes. I have 400 now, but both Fallen and HK still need. How many more do I need to hoard to gear 12, all 3, when the new meta drops? I actually have not looked at the counter. I would just check GG and look at the full page and just count. They have the full gear composite stuff there. That's where I go anyways when I want to calculate it, and then I put it in a spreadsheet. I haven't calculated it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Greg G, question: will you be streaming more KOTOR gameplay and maybe some KOTOR 2? I think Sanely is planning more KOTOR next week because he didn't get through it all. So I think he's planning KOTOR next week. But I'll ask Sanely when he does that, because he does that on.
Yeah, he was talking about doing some more.
Yeah. It was actually pretty fun.
But he was talking.
And then last question, Ouchie, how long is the stream going for? LOL, someone get Ranger. The stream is done now. That is the last question. Haha. So, with that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We went a little long because I had other meetings scheduled and then they got canceled, so I was able to spend a little bit of extra time here, but now I have to get ready for that. So, with that, thanks to Grim.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just found out right before the stream started that we lost, or we're losing a member in my guild. So if it's okay, and if anyone is looking for a guild, we're like above 190 million GP, send Deathwatch, and you can contact me.
There you go.
On Discord. Thank you, Finn.
Mm-hmm. So thanks to Grim, Dana, and Xylo for joining me today during this stream where Ranger abandoned me. I know how it feels now. Still don't apologize to Ranger. It just makes me want to abandon him more, but that's a whole different story. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. I hope you guys had some fun today. And with that, I am